Welcome to Carol and Gary's See America Tour. Hello everyone. Carol and I made the short trip up Interstate 44 to Tulsa yesterday. Today is Monday, May 21st. We didn't have any plans this morning, so we decided to check out Tulsa. Since Tulsa was once called the oil capital of the world, we decided to find the Golden Oil Driller statue. This 75-foot tall, 4,300-pound tourist attraction leans on an oil derrick. The tallest building in Tulsa is a 667-foot, 52-story Bank of Oklahoma. Opening in 1976, it's the second tallest building in Oklahoma. Near the Bank of Oklahoma, we walked around Williams Green, a small park downtown. This globe was mounted in a fountain. This is the former National Bank of Tulsa building on the right, built in 1917 with 10 stories, but expanded to 22 stories in 1929. The thing I noticed when I shot this video was how quiet the streets were at 10 a.m. After looking around downtown Tulsa, we drove back to our campground, where our neighbor told us about the wooden sculptures scattered around the grounds. A person named Clayton Koss has become somewhat of a local legend in this area for carving statues with a chainsaw. This sculpture is directly across from our campsite. This sculpture is around the corner. This sculpture is in an area where we walk jasper. It is Tuesday, May 22nd. With rain expected during the next 3 days, Carol and I decided to do something outdoors, so we took Jasper to explore Keystone Lake. Keystone Lake is a reservoir on the Arkansas River 23 miles west of Tulsa. Keystone Lake was created when the Keystone Dam was completed in 1968 by the Army Corps of Engineers. The primary purposes of the dam were flood control, hydroelectric power generation, wildlife management, and recreation. The length of the dam, pointed out here by the arrow, is 4,600 feet, including a 1,600-foot concrete section. This is the river below the dam. There are a few people fishing along the bank. The spillway in the concrete section is 856 feet wide. After driving along the shore for a while, we parked and walked. We immediately saw this crane perched high up in a tree. Then while I was watching the crane, Carol saw these 5 geese swim by. It was 85 degrees today, so it didn't take Jasper long to realize that he needed to be in the water. This was some of our view as we looked around the lake. Prior to Oklahoma becoming a state in 1907, the U.S. government passed the Indian Removal Act of 1830. This forced American Indians to move from their current location, wherever that was, to reservations in Oklahoma. After the Indians were successfully settled in Oklahoma, the land that was left was what was made available for that land run of 1889 mentioned in our Oklahoma City video last week. With a large Indian presence in Oklahoma, Carol and I could not claim to have visited Oklahoma without learning a little about the Indians. So today, Wednesday, May 23rd, Carol and I drove 75 miles to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, tribal headquarters of the Cherokee Indian Nation. As I mentioned earlier, the Indian Removal Act of 1830 forced all Indians to move to Oklahoma. The Cherokee Indians called the route of this 1,000-mile march the Trail of Tears. The Cherokee were forced to relocate from their homes in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Alabama. An estimated 4,000 Cherokee died on the Trail of Tears from malnutrition, exposure, and disease. Carol and I visited the Cherokee Heritage Center, where we took a guided tour of a 1710 Deligua. A Deligua is a Cherokee village. Our guide told us that Cherokee are agricultural people, so they don't move around.
A lot of people think that Cherokees live in things like teepees, but living in a teepee is more of a plain tradition, since they actually had to follow their food. Now, the Cherokee people are very agricultural people, so we like to stay in one spot.
During this tour, we learned about making pottery.
Now, I'm just using a simple hammerstone, and you notice I don't have to hit it real hard, right? Because you don't have to be strong to do this, right? You just have to know how it's done. Now,
because it's front of the bow right here, this is one growth ring at the top all the way down to the bottom. Now that one growth ring is what gives its bow its flexibility and its strength. It allows you to bend it without it snapping.
The Cherokee Nation has long emphasized education as a survival tool. During the 1800s, the literacy level of the Cherokee Nation was higher than Texas or Arkansas. Sequoyah, a Cherokee silversmith, completed his independent creation of a Cherokee alphabet in 1821. Literacy was spurred by the teaching of this alphabet, enabling citizens to read the Cherokee Advocate newspaper and keep abreast of the nation's issues and events. A female and male seminary for higher education was also supported by the Cherokee Nation. The female seminary was the first school for higher education for women west of the Mississippi River. Studies included Latin, botany, chemistry, physics, and music. After Oklahoma became a state, the State Department of Education granted 62 credit hours to the seminary graduates. On Thursday, May 24th, Carol, Jasper, and I drove to the Turkey Mountain Urban Wildlife Area. This is 300 acres of undeveloped land along the Arkansas River on the west side of Tulsa. There are 20 miles of GPS mapped trails. A ranger recommended that Carol and I take the Blue Trail, a 1.5-mile loop that would take us past a small lake and could be completed in approximately 40 minutes. So off we went. Blue arrows were mounted along the trail, making it very easy to follow. And then we came to this sign. 3 blue arrows all pointing in different directions. Since we had come from the direction that the bottom arrow was indicating, we took the arrow that was pointing straight ahead. This took us around a loop to the small lake that the ranger had told us about. Jasper took a few minutes to cool down in the water. Then we sat in the shade watching the turtles for a while before heading back to the trailhead where we'd parked. On Friday, May 25th, Carol and I visited the Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa. Woodrow Wilson Guthrie was an American singer-songwriter, one of the most significant figures in American folk music. Woody was born in Okemah, Oklahoma on July 14, 1912. He was said to be a keen observer of the world around him. He used his talent to connect to people in his music. The people, music, and landscape he was exposed to made lasting impressions on him. His songs, such as This Land Is Your Land, have inspired several generations both politically and musically. Woody wrote hundreds of political, folk, and children's songs, along with ballads and improvised works. His album of songs about the Dust Bowl period is included in Mojo's magazine, 100 Records That Changed the World. Songwriters such as Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, Bruce Springsteen, and John Mellencamp have acknowledged that Guthrie was a major influence in their career. And with that, our visit to Tulsa is complete. We couldn't decide on any other places to visit in Oklahoma, so we are leaving on Sunday, headed for Arkansas. Oklahoma is the 15th state that Carol and I have visited together. Thanks for watching! If you like this video and would like to be notified of future videos, please subscribe to our channel. It's easy and it's free. Take care and thanks for watching.